Good morning, my lovelies. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week and have stepped into your power, taken your power back, and are getting ready to enjoy your weekend, whatever that includes. So I thought today would be another beautiful morning to have a chat with you guys about remaining in your power, stepping in your power, how things work, all of this fun stuff. So anything I can do to help, I will try to do that. So welcome if you haven't been here before. My name is Lindsay. I'm also known as the Dragon Queen, encompassing all things dragon. I love purple dragons. I love their strength. I love their beauty, their colors, the different energies of them. I just love dragons, all types of dragons. So I am an artist, a tattoo artist, and a spiritual guidance helper outer person. I just try to help wherever I can with the experiences that I've had in my life and the research I've done and experimenting and seeing the results of what I've done, what's worked and what hasn't worked, and trying to help you guys navigate through the same. So I guess we could just start. I just like to ramble and chat as if I'm chatting with some old friends. I seem to be able to communicate better that way if I try to plan out and notate everything. I do take notes, but if I try to plan it out too much, then I feel like I overwhelm myself. And so I just have to go with the flow and just sit down and chat like I'm talking with one of my friends, okay? So I appreciate you guys being here. In my last video, if you saw, I was speaking about how important it is to step into your power and make decisions of what you want for your day and for your life, and to really know who you are, because that's what creates your reality. It's not necessarily about, now I might even contradict some things I've said in other videos that I've made, but that's because I'm learning and growing and experiencing things, and again, trying to give you guys examples of what's been helping me and what I've done and what has been reflected and shown to me in this beautiful mirror out here, okay? So if you've watched older videos and I talk about some other things that are different from what's today, that's just because I've grown and learned, and I want to share that with you too. So standing in your power, deciding what you want for each day, making sure that you're not waking up with chaos and confusion, because that will set the tone for the rest of the day, for the rest of your day to be confusing, to be chaotic, to be what you don't want. When you wake up in confusion and rushing to the first thing that you feel like you need to do for other people, for whatever, anything that feels like an obligation that's not for you to wake up in peace and in calm and centered, you need to figure that out for yourself. It's different for everybody, okay? Just because some people might wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym and come home and do this or do that, that doesn't mean that has to be your routine. And just because you're not doing what somebody else is doing, don't give that an excuse to be hard on yourself. We're already hard on ourselves enough throughout the day, through everything we're thinking about. It's just been conditioned, a lot of us growing up through whatever, just different experiences through society and familial and friends, school, all of that stuff, work, that there's some conditioning in there sometimes that makes us feel like we're doing things wrong all the time, or that we made a mistake, or that we have to do better, or that all of that, right? All that pressure on us as humans from as soon as we're born, pretty much, to achieve and do and be and get and go. And that's wonderful, okay? Inspiration, motivation is wonderful. But when you are feeling pressured and forced into getting up, and you have to really gun yourself up and gear yourself up in the morning to be like, okay, let's handle today again, here we go. That's not enjoying your life, you guys. That's not, you're not waking up and enjoying what you're doing. You're not deciding for yourself what you want for your life. You're waking up and just taking whatever hits you in the face and whatever you were told and whatever, you know, again, things that feel wrong to you that you wake up and do each day. Some things that it could be your career. It could be what you think you want for a relationship or a friendship. Really sit down with yourself today, guys, and make a decision on what that looks like to you. If you have, you know, friendships in your life or any type of relationship in your life that doesn't make you feel good, that doesn't make you feel at peace, there's a reason for that. And you are allowed to stand up for yourself and have a conversation with this person, or it doesn't matter. You can, you know, put this theory to, or this practice or whatever to this belief. There we go. You could apply this belief to any situation, any person, it doesn't matter, because it's all about what you want and what you decide about what you want. Okay. So if you want to have a peaceful life and you want friendly, you know, kind people around you and people that have integrity and that are, you know, compassionate humans and take care of themselves and know how to radiate light, you know, if you want these beautiful type of people around you, you're allowed to have that. If you have people around you, even in your family, that are toxic and that are rude and that are mean to you, you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to sit there and take it just because they're part of your family, or maybe you've been friends with them for 10 years. You know, the first step is to acknowledge it and sit down and say, hey, this doesn't make me feel good. I don't like how this is going. Is there something, you know, we can change about it? Whatever the decision, if that person fires back at you, if they come back at you with anger, if they react, that's not what you do. You just know that that's not what you want for your life, and you dismiss it and you remove it. What happens to this person or thing or career, if it's not for you, if it's making you feel some type of way that is like you dread doing it, it feels gross, it feels scary, it feels just not good, a not good feeling. And I don't mean scary and like a fear that we should overcome, you know, just to push through it and keep going and know that we're worthy type shit. This is, you know what I mean. Unhealthy environments. Again, something that's just not making you happy. Maybe you thought you had to grow up and go to college and get married and have kids and be a lawyer and that was your life. Well, what if you don't want to be a lawyer? What if you've had dreams since you were a kid of creating Lego lands, building things out of Legos that seem impossible or that are architecturally structured and safe? And it doesn't matter. If that's what you wanted to do and that's what you feel pulled to do, that's what you should be doing. Okay, that's the whole point of us being here, you guys. It's the only thing that fucking even makes sense. Between, if you want to go with religious, if you want to go with spiritual, if you want to go with, you know, disciplined and focused, and anybody that you've seen in any situation of however, whatever process they want to use to get to their highest self, or whatever you want to call it, their best self, and what they truly want out of life. If you look at any situation, no matter what process they used, you'll find that it all boils down to they all made a decision and they all knew what they wanted and went after it and didn't accept no for an answer outside of that, of what they wanted. And we've all seen these people in our lives, right? We've all seen people like, you know, what do you want to, famous actors, Tom Cruise, whatever. He's always seemed to be, now this is, forget any Hollywood, all of the, anything going on in the background. I'm just talking about seeing somebody at a surface, they make a lot of money doing what they love to do, and they seem to be an upstanding person with integrity, whatever, does the right thing, helps when they can, blah, 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 right? Takes care of themselves. Everything that has in common, like I said, is they all went after what they wanted and made the decision that it was theirs. They didn't take no for an answer. They said, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to be. I don't care who says no, who tells me I'm not good enough, that's where we all get caught up in the bullshit of other people's beliefs, of thinking that they're doing it right and I'm doing it wrong. Just because you see something working for them, that doesn't mean that that's going to work for you. Because if that's not your decision, if that's not truly what you want for yourself, then, you're going to let it be crumbled for you. You're gonna be walked all over. You're gonna be stepped on. You're gonna have your power taken away from you. And that's what we do when we let other people's beliefs override what we truly believe to be for us. Now, your beliefs and what you want for your life, even though there's some people with some ill intentions that have still gotten what they wanted, even though it wasn't good for society or for, there's been some evil type shit out there that's happened where you're like, why did that person get what they wanted? I believe in God, and I believe, great spirits out there guiding us, directing us, has our back, is taking care of us. Then why does he allow these evil people out here? It's because it doesn't have anything to do with that, you guys. I do believe in God and the Creator, Great Spirit. We all come from a light, and we are little lights that are replicas of that light. And so the only thing that matches, that makes sense, whether you believe in God or not, whether somebody gets something they want that's good or bad or whatever, is that they all made a decision that that's what they wanted. And that was it. And they wouldn't let anybody else tell them no. You can apply this to evil people like Hitler, right? Whatever label you want to put on it, it doesn't matter. That was a horrible thing that happened. And it was all about decisions, though. He made a decision. Other people made decisions to follow what he said. These are all decisions that were made, and a lot of people went against their intuition. And a lot of people went against what they truly wanted. It's happening now. If you can't stand up for yourself and what you want in your own life, then you're not going to get what you want in this life, you guys. You have to stand up for yourself. It applies to having power within your household. Like me, I just have a dog, right? I don't have any kids, and I still have authority in my house. I still have to be the pack leader of my house, even though it's just my dog and my plants, right? Because if I don't, and I'm not the one here making decisions, then whose household is it? It's not my puppy's household. He's not gonna run this shit and take care of things. And I'm sure he does try to sometimes, let me tell you. He acts like he's the boss sometimes, but these are areas where I see that behavior, and I know that it's somewhere that I need to correct my behavior, because it's where I have given him my power and kind of had some behaviors or just made some decisions that showed him that he was more the boss than me, whether it be spoiling him or not being as authoritative with my tone or my energy of, hey, this is what I want. If you're kind of willy-nilly and you're like, yeah, okay, maybe, whatever, hey, will you sit down? They're probably not going to do it, because they're like, this motherfucker ain't serious. I'm not going to listen to somebody that's not serious, and they're not leading me and guiding me. That's what they want and they need. Kids, pets, anyone looking to you for an authority, an authority position, or as their leader or boss or whatever it is, it's because they believe that you make strong decisions and you have that energy of, I know what I'm doing and let's go this way, and sometimes the leaders aren't always the best people, but they have the confidence in themselves, even though some of us out here may be looking at these people. I'm not gonna say any names at all, but you can apply it to whoever you see in your reality, of some people just looking at them like, what in the fuck are they doing? How are they doing this? It's because we create our reality. So in their reality, that's what they've decided is for them. We can go back to Henry Ford. Read some of the accounts of how he really wouldn't take no for an answer. And he believed he made no mistakes, because he believed that every failure, quote unquote, or mistake, quote unquote, was just an experience. And it is. It really is, because these are all decisions, you guys. We make a decision and we see what happened from that decision. And this is why we don't need to go around blaming people or, being... Now, a lot of us were victims and were victimized growing up, and we had things happen to us that were not cool and that were, a little detrimental to some of our well-being. But when we take our power back and we don't go around blaming everybody and saying, well, they did that to me, that's their fault, so I can't be this type of person because that was done to me. That's an excuse, you guys. Sorry to tell you, but that's a decision and that's an excuse. You have the choice, you have the power to stand up for yourself and step into it and say, hey, I don't care what the fuck they did to me. That's their problem. I'm not taking that shit on, and I'm gonna be a better person for it. And you do have that decision. Just like you have the decision in traffic to be a grumpy bitch or to fucking have some compassion and enjoy the ride and go with the flow. I'm gonna give you an example here in a minute. If you're enjoying your morning, I appreciate you being here and having this chat with me. But an example of how I had to learn to carry myself through my day with calm and composure also is not giving my power away, slowing the fuck down, having some patience. And just a small example of when in traffic, right? This is when most of us get, because when we're driving somewhere, a lot of us will what? Kind of sometimes being in a rush to get there. You just want to hurry up and get there, right? As we do in life, fuck the process, just the destination. No, it is about the process, because it's about each decision you make and watching that decision unfold into something beautiful. Unless you make a decision that you know wasn't for you, and then you see 1616 on the time, the repercussions of that come back at you. So you can't get mad at anybody else for you making a decision that wasn't for you. Just like in relationships, I'm gonna touch on that in a minute. I know I'll be bouncing around, just stay with me. So in traffic, when you're driving, a lot of us sometimes are in a rush. We're not enjoying the drive. There's some beautiful scenery sometimes. If you go with the flow, sometimes your navigation system will even take you a different way that you didn't even know that you could get there, because you've had some new neurals open up in your brain, and you'll be like, damn, this is a beautiful drive, and you can enjoy the drive. You really can. Or that is a decision to enjoy the drive. You good, bud? You good? Say hi, bud. Or you have the decision to be in a rush when you leave your house or wherever you're going, to hurry up and get to where your destination is, to say fuck everybody on the drive in the process, and be as angry and as grumpy and as pushy as you can while you're on your way there. You can get yourself so worked up that you could even have some type of a heart attack or something happen to your body, because you've raised your blood pressure so much by letting other people get to you, not being in the moment, not realizing that, you know, if you truly believe that everything happens for you and not to you, then you can go through your day much easier also. So even if somebody cuts you off in traffic, even if they brake check you, say I always say it's an accident. Like if somebody does that, I'm like, oh, so I try to put myself in their position, right? If that was me, because I've done that before, I've accidentally brake checked somebody, or I went to get over and there was a car in the lane and they beeped at me, you know, my bad shit. It was a mistake. I don't make mistakes. It was an experience. But it was something that happened that I've done before. So if that in turn happens to me, I don't flip out on that person and go off and say fuck you and beat my horn and go crazy and try to get ahead of them. No, I'm like, whoa, bro, you know, like, my bad, be humble. You're good, I'm good. Go ahead, you got somewhere to be. You're in some type of energy that is not calm right now, and I am calm. So you go handle that. No big deal. I don't get mad at them. I let them go about their day. And guess what? I still remain in my calm. I still remain in my power. And they are stuck dealing with whatever chaos they're dealing with at the time. Just send them love, because I've been there. And if we are all mirrors, if reality is a mirror of us, right, is showing us what we are believing, it shows us our beliefs. You wouldn't believe how much stuff calms down if you pull back your power and have the energy of, no, this is my reality, this is what I'm creating. I say, you need to calm down, you need to calm down. We've seen those people. Some of them are, you know, dog trainers, some of them are actors, some of them are, you know, just leaders in general in our community. Some people are business owners that you see. Those people that just have so much integrity that, like, you know, they could command a whole classroom of people they didn't know just by walking in there with their energy. You know exactly what I mean. These people that you're like, you know, I know they wouldn't take no for an answer, and they don't have to scream about it either. They could walk in and say, this is what I want, this is what I demand for myself, without stepping on anybody. You know, there are those people that do that, you know, and that it is what it is, guys. Sometimes you have to say no to some things if it's what you feel and it's what's true for you, and somebody else is standing in what's true for them, then it'll work out in both of your realities because you're both creating your own reality. It doesn't have to work out at that time and you have to be on the same page. But if you're both standing up for what you believe in, then you both go away separately creating the reality still that you both want. Okay, it still works out for everybody. But if you're giving your power away to somebody else and they're coming in and commanding and demanding and you don't stand up for yourself, then you give that power away. And now your reality is not what you want and theirs is exactly confirmation, what they want still. So having compassion about the people in traffic, if we are all connected in pieces of each other, then that's a piece of you that just cuts you off. So you need to chill the fuck out, because you would want to have somebody to have compassion for you if you accidentally did that. It doesn't matter the reason. Are you going to stop that person and go and figure out why the fuck they cut you off and then delve into it and have a therapy session about it? No, that is unnecessary. When all you have to do is shake that shit off and be like, well, bro, hope you have a better day. I'm gonna stay back here in my good energy. And that's it, and keep it moving. It's pretty simple. I know we try to complicate it. Trust me, I'm 100% number one at used to be complicating the fuck out of some shit. But I've had to learn to simplify and really go after what I want and know that, you know, there's even been some people pleasing in there to where, I don't want to hurt your feelings by telling you what I want. What the fuck is that? Where do we get that from? You know what I mean? That is not a real reality as far as like being able to function the way we want to if we're just walking around on eggshells around everybody all the time. No, this is what I want. And you have to start getting comfortable with saying no. And if it's an uncomfortable, whatever, conversation, if you said no, if it's, I don't care what it is, the person might get their feelings hurt. That is not your business nor your responsibility. If you are stating what you want with grace and with decision, and that's it, and this is what I want, and you're not hurting anybody, then that's it. You don't have to accept any reactions from anyone. You don't have to put up with any bullshit, any abuse, any anger, none of that. You can hang up, you can block, you can whatever. You know what's gonna happen? The person or situation will either remove itself from your life because you're standing in your integrity of what you want with your decision, and everything else is getting filtered out, right? Because you're making a clear decision of what you want. Or that person, place, or thing, whatever it is, will level up and meet you at the energy that you're at the vibration you're at. We are all vibration. This cup is vibrating at the cup of a coffee cup, because we put the meaning on these little particles and atoms that are in here. The person said, the decision was made that they wanted to make a coffee cup with dragons on it. So they did. That's what they wanted. That's what they said these atoms should form as, and that's what they formed as. This is scientifically proven, you guys. If you go do a little bit of research and reading about it, you can see that this is what all of us little subatomic particles are. Just vibrations vibrating together. So within this coffee cup is, what did I want? What decision did I make? I made the decision to have coffee in there, right? So I did the process of the coffee, and all the vibrations of coffee of what I wanted, of my decision, came together. A lot of this stuff is already here right now because we know how to do it, and we do it automatically. But with the stuff that we really want and that we've been taught through all types of different ways to forget our power and to give away our power to other people, no, it doesn't have to be that way. We can all have what we want without taking power away from each other. Trust. Because if you're standing in your power and I'm standing in my power, then we're creating the reality that we want, and that's it. It's all about your mindset and about decision making. If you wake up today and decide that you're gonna have a wonderful day and you're not gonna accept anything less, then you're gonna do that. An example, how do you do that? When you have bills, or when you have this, or when you have that. When you focus on these things, that's when they appear. Like that's what it is. When you look at the particles, if you look at the scientific data, 2442, when you look at a particle and you decide this is what it is, that's what it is. When you take your focus off of it, it it disappears, it goes away. It's not the thing anymore because it's not the vibration of the thing that you put the decision on it. Does that make sense? Like, okay, even in the day, that's Abraham Hicks. I know, guys, I get it. I jump around a lot. My brain is like all over the place, but I want to share so much with you guys. So, Abraham Hicks talks about, you know, the law of attraction and being in the feeling and in the moment and just knowing. Okay, lost my train of thought for a minute. Abraham Hicks talks about being a vibrational match to things, right? So what you focus on comes to you. That's because you're vibrationally matching it. You are creating it with the vibrations in your brain by focusing on it. If you focus on, oh, I don't make enough money, that's what you're creating vibrationally. Does that make sense? That's why when you have a lack focus and a survival mindset, you think that everything is, you know, lack, that there's not enough of everything, that you have to chase or manipulate or overwork or stress yourself out to get to these things that you want. And that's not true. You just have to match the vibration of it. So think about what you focus on mostly all day long. Do you focus on mostly what you don't have? Or do you focus on, you know, what you do have? Because it doesn't matter if I sit here and focus on, wow, look at all this stuff I have. I have a table, I have a beautiful house, I have friends, look at all these trees. Like, that vibration of look at all of this stuff and this abundance is abundantly bringing more things into my life like that, okay? It could be an abundance of, I could see 100 birds fly by in a minute, and that's just another vibrational match of what my thoughts were, what my decision was about it, about abundance, right? If I believe everything's in abundance, then I see right now how many things are in abundance. So many things. So that includes money. That includes love. That includes whatever I want it to. Okay? Because it's there. Just because you can't see it just doesn't mean it's not there and that you can't achieve it. You have to just be the vibrational match of it. Now, these things can be immediate. There's been some of this stuff I'm still obviously observing and experimenting with throughout my life, throughout my days, throughout what I'm doing. But what I've noticed is when you do make that decision and you're setting it, like even with people that you've seen that have won the lottery, right? What have they, all of them have said that they went in there and they knew it. Why did they know they were going to win the lottery? They just knew it. It's because they made the decision, I'm going to win the lottery, period. And I'm not going to take no for an answer. And that doesn't mean that they go play the lottery and they don't win and then they give up. No, they just know they're going to win. Just because it wasn't that ticket, that doesn't mean anything. That means it was part of the road to the ticket that is the winner. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything is leading you to what it needs to be. You don't have to know the reason. But just because that wasn't the winning ticket doesn't mean, oh, I didn't do it right, I'm not going to win the lottery. No, if you made the decision to and you know that you're going to, then you're going to win the lottery no matter what. It doesn't mean you have to buy a ticket every day. It doesn't mean you have to, you know, spend $100 on a ticket. That's not what it means at all. It means that if I know I'm going to win the lottery and I've made the decision, then that could be today or that could be next week. It doesn't matter because I've already made the decision that that's going to happen and it's already done. So if everything is already done and I already have it and everything works out for my highest good, then why wouldn't I believe that? And that's when you see people getting exactly what they want. That's why people can win multiple times. It's their belief about it and them matching the vibration. It's not because they were a good person. It's not because they went and donated to 50 shelters today. It's not because, you know, they helped somebody across the street. It's none of that. It's because they had the belief and the confidence in themselves that they deserved it and they were going to get it, and that was it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to portray to you guys, how easy it is, okay? It does take some practice. And you can even dismiss that belief about it. You can be like, it doesn't take me any practice. I already know it. I make decisions and that's what it is and it happens. But it's your decision about that. If you want to keep putting processes in front of it to Okay, I have to go through this before I get there. Okay, well, I have to do all these processes then, because you're going to find new processes online all day, every day that are showing you, oh, do it this way, feel it, do it. They all work to a certain point because it's the beliefs about it. That's why all these diet fads that people have gone through over the years, that they'll work and then they seem like they don't work, or they'll work for certain people and not for other people. It's because it's the beliefs about it. If you really believe it's going to work for you. And if you don't, then you don't. I believe that I can eat whatever I want and still be trim, be slim, be athletic, be able to, I play sports, I work out, all the stuff. And I've eaten more ice cream in the last few years than I ever have in my entire life, let me tell you. And I'm not joking. It's because it's my belief about it. If ice cream is just particles that we assign a belief to and a decision to, then my decision about that is that it doesn't affect my body like it does everybody else's. It's part of what my body needs. It's part of my health system. And my body is 100% functioning perfectly because I was made from great spirit. I was, I'm a twin of a twin of a twin of a twin of these little lights, of the big light that came down here. So if the big light, if God, if whatever you want to put it, is still particles, and those light particles are grouped together as perfectly functioning, decision-making, powerful being creating my reality, then I am a little version of that. And so I can create my reality how I choose. And so that's what I choose for myself. Understand? I can also choose to, be hard on myself for all of this stuff and have it all weigh on me and, oh, well, this is going to happen if I drink coffee, and this is going to happen if I smoke weed, and this is going to happen if I sit outside at 5 o'clock, and this is going to... No. Just like in the sun. The sun is here. It's part of the earth. It's part of us. I don't believe in sunblock, okay? I don't burn. I can sit out in the sun, and I don't burn. I get bronzed. I get tanned. I did yesterday. No burn. You know what I mean? And I haven't sat out in the sun for a while. It was needed, trust me. Decision making, it was needed. It's part of my health. I feel so good when I sit in the sun and so centered and so connected, and I make better decisions. So whatever it takes for you to make better decisions for yourself and take your power back, that's what you need to do, guys. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, make the decision for the day. Don't let all the other stuff come in. If you want it to be the person yesterday, I'm not that person. I don't want to act like that. I don't want my day to go like that. This is how I want to be today. This is how I want to dress. This is what I want to do. You can make that decision from yesterday to today. You don't have to keep living that same life, okay? You can start to make decisions that are in line with what you truly want, but you have to know what you truly want. That's why meditation and knowing yourself is so important, and sitting down and quieting your mind so you can hear who the fuck you are and what you truly want. It doesn't matter if you want to go build, again, Legolands on the beach, and be single forever and don't have any kids and, party. Whatever you want for your life, you can have that, you guys. There's been many examples of it over time that we try to attune to, oh, well, they were healthy and they did this and that's why they lived so long. No, it was their belief about stuff. There's people that have lived to over 100 years old that are smoking cigars and drink wine every day. You know what I mean? Because that was their belief about what they wanted for their life. So that's what they didn't take no for an answer about that. So anyway, I've rambled long enough today. Hopefully I made some sense. I think I did. And you can carry this with you through the day, and it helps you be more calm and make better decisions for yourself. It's not always easy. Is that a decision? It is. I could say everything. My decisions are easy. Even the decisions that seem difficult end up being easy and loving in the end. So even if it's a conversation that I think I need to have with somebody that's given me a little bit of anxiety, I calm myself out about it. I make the decision that it's going to be a beautiful conversation and that I'm going to go into it with grace and love, and that I'll get that in return. And I'm telling you, it's always worked out. It's been the most beautiful experiences and conversations when I've done that, and it's worked out for everybody in that moment. So just try to take grace and love into everything, but decisiveness. If it's something that you want, don't take no for an answer, and it is what it is. Have the most beautiful day. Decide to. I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. See you.